I would like to welcome everyone to opening prayer. Alrighty, so everyone bow their heads for prayer. Alrighty, so. Dear Lord, let's ask that you hope that our 8th grade graduation goes well. And Lord, I ask that you work in the future of these bright-minded students. Show me and my fellow students your plans for their future, and for our wonderful teacher, Mr. McQuiston, that he will show more of our youth the Christian truth and this within in his funny but educational classes, and in Jesus' name, amen.
Good evening, family, friends, staff, and graduates. I would like to welcome you to the 8th grade graduating class of 2018 to our graduation ceremony. It feels like just yesterday we walked into the door of Standifer Gap. None of us knew all the things that we would accomplish as individuals or as a whole class. We had no idea we'd have to overcome so many challenges or work so hard to get here where we are today. Though it may not have seemed like it to us when we were just kids, taking our first steps into the real world. Of course, we didn't go through all of this on our own. We had the guidance and motivation of teachers, staff, loved ones, and of course, our parents. Without your strong faith in us, we would not be here before you, graduating today, or even at Standifer Gap for that matter. Let us not forget all of our friends we've made this year too. We all have bonded to be a school family. We've had some ups and downs, but we all seem to overcome them. Now, parents, I'd like you to take a look at the graduates sitting before you today. Did you ever imagine we'd accomplish this much and make you so proud? I hope you all know, though that was you, always pushing us to do our best and making us strive to go the extra mile, which put us on the stage today. Thank you for all your time. I'd like to present to you now the graduating class of 2018.
Like you've never been before. The life you knew in 1,000 pieces on the floor.
And words fall short in times like these, when this world drives you to your knees. You think you're never gonna make back to the you that used to be. Tell your heart to beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away. Step into the light of grace. Yesterday's a closing door. You don't live there anymore. Say goodbye to where you've been and tell your heart to beat again. Beginning, just let that word wash over you. It's alright now. Love's healing hands have pulled you through. So get back up, take step one. Leave the darkness, feel the sun. 'Cause your story's far from over, and your journey's just begun. Tell your heart to beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away. Step into the light of grace. Yesterday's and tell your heart to beat again. Let every heart break and every scar be a picture that reminds you who has carried you this far. 'Cause love seems farther than you ever could. In this moment, heaven's working everything for your good. Tell your heart to beat again. Close your eyes and breathe it in. Let the shadows fall away. Step into the light of grace. Yesterday's a closing door. You don't live there anymore. Say goodbye to where you've been and tell your heart to beat again. Your heart to beat again.
Oh, so tell your heart, beat again.
Dear Mom and Dad, remember when I was a kid and I fell down the stairs? Or the first time we moved down here and I thought Tennessee would be this big city, but all there was country music and mountains. At first, I regretted moving down here. Well, sometimes I still do. But if you haven't moved down here, I wouldn't be the person I am today, and I wouldn't have the friends I have now. I remember the first day of being the new kid. I was so scared because I didn't know anybody. I sat at my desk and didn't talk to anyone. But I remember there was this one girl who came up to me and said hi to me, and we instantly became friends. I also remember the first time I went to Six Flags. It was so fun until my dad did the whip and nay when the song came on. That was so embarrassing. Mom, I appreciate you because you give me food and clothes. You also listen, give me advice, and cheer me up when I'm sad. Dad, I appreciate you because you give me a house, let me go to a private school, and also my phone. I love you because you have also been there for me. You have been honest with me and protected me. Oh, and I almost forgot about Christopher. I love you, little guy. I always have, even when I didn't show it. I don't think I have said it enough, but I love you guys through thick and thin. I want to make you proud by going to a good college and graduating from it. Also by achieving my dream of becoming a doctor, becoming a successful parent, and also growing stronger with God.
Dear Mom and Dad, thank you for everything you have done for me over the past years. You have been the ones that made me into the person I am today. You have always been supportive of me and encouraged me to do things that were hard. I wouldn't be graduating today without you. Mom, you're always the one I can talk about anything to. You have always been there for me no matter what. You have taught me very important lessons. I remember, for instance, when you taught me how to cook. You're teaching me how to cook on the stove, and then you said it was my turn to try. So, right off the bat, I got boiling water on myself. That, however, taught me what not to do again. I also remember the first time I tried to sew after you showed me. I shoved the needle into my skin. That again taught me what not to do. These are lessons I really appreciate you teaching me, and you have taught me much more. You have always been there for me, and I know I can count on you no matter what. I love you and thank you so much for everything you do for me and our family. Dad, you're always the one who taught me how to put up with an older brother. You would teach me lessons and show me how to compete with him. You have always been willing to participate in things with me. For instance, when you and me ran a half marathon together 2 months ago. That meant a lot to me, and it is something I will probably never forget. You are always willing to spend time with me and Justin first. You, in fact, are willing to spend so much time with us, even on your days off. I remember when a reporter put you in the newspaper for it. You have always been there for me and have encouraged me and supported me no matter what. You make many sacrifices of your own for me and our family to have the best. I love you and thank you so much for what you do for me. Justin, what is there to say? Just kidding. You're always the one who pushed me to my hardest. You have never taken it easy on me, which I appreciate. You have always taught me important things in life and have been a type of role model to me. I love you, and without knowing you, I would have never known the true meaning of friendship. Thank you all for being there for me no matter what. You guys have always been so loving and encouraging towards me. You all have also taught me much about the Bible. I appreciate that so much. You have taught me nothing is impossible without him. The unending love he has for us is the type of love I have towards you. Thank you for everything you've done for me, and I love you all.
Dear Mom and Dad, I have many memories that I will never forget, and these are some of them. Mom, do you remember that time my brother had a candy cane in his room, and you said not to eat it because it wasn't mine, but I still ate it anyways, and I was trying to be slick, and then you found out because I have blue stuff all over my mouth? Dad, do you remember those mornings we would wake up super early and take a trip to Dollar General and get pancake mix and come back home and make them, eat, and do puzzles? Mom, do you remember how I used to talk in third person and say I'm a big goa because I didn't know how to say girl? Dad, do you remember that time we went to the lake and I caught my first rainbow trout? Oh my, I was so excited that I caught that tiny thing. Do you guys remember when I picked up that bowling ball and fell and I had to go to the hospital and get stitches? All of those times I love and cherish and laugh at, and I will remember them for the rest of my life. Mom, I appreciate you so much, and I honestly don't know what I would do without you. I would probably be lost without your morning time lectures and you making me food at night because I'm hungry. I appreciate you for helping me choose what color shirt to wear and for being honest when something just looks stupid. But also, thank you for telling me in a loving way. Thank you for everything you do for me. Dad, I appreciate you for doing everything in the world to make me happy. From when I was young to now, you have been so quick to help me or show me what to do that's right. I thank you so much for teaching me to try golf. It didn't really work, though, and for standing in the yard with me to help me hit the softball better. I appreciate you for helping me when I need you. I love you so much. I love you guys both unconditionally. You guys show me how to live life to the greatest in the correct way, showing my love through kindness and helping people. You guys taught me everything I need to know and have to go through life, and that's why I love you. I live to make you guys proud in achieving what you want. I want to go to college and get a degree in nursing and help people that need help. I want to take care of you guys when you're old and not just ignore you. That will never happen. And to my loving, amazing grandparents that do everything to make me happy. Not just me, but my whole family. Grandma, thanks for dealing with me when I may have an attitude and getting my nails done when I ask. Grandpa, thank you for telling me those poem jokes when I would spend the night on a school night or after school when I'd come home. Little do you know, that made my days 10 times better. And last but not least, to my great annoying brother and sister. I love you guys, and sometimes you can be rude and annoying, but what's life without some of that?
Dear Mom and Dad, I've always looked up and admired both of you as the years have gone by. From learning how to do multiplication with my mom, to learning how to stand up for myself, to do my very best with everything I do. I always remember how me and my dad would wash the car together. Actually, me rinsing the car and spraying him with the water. To my mom always correcting my grammars and my ain'ts, I always loved laying on my couch with my dad, then getting bored and climbing all over him and the couch. To riding in the car with my mom, listening to audiobooks, country music, or weird music my brother played. I have always loved both of you equally for a number of reasons. One, you two have always taught me to never back down from a problem or situation that was hard or confusing. Two, you have taught me how to be respectful, how to be a respectful, well-behaved, and cheerful young man. You both have always encouraged me to look at the glass half full rather than half empty. You both have always taught me to be respectful to my peers, friends, property, and most importantly, myself. 4, you both have lived with my crazy voices and or antics around my house, which I will not name. 5, you have always helped me with my homework and or questions that don't make any sense. Math. I love both of you so much. You both are always very forward with me. You've taught me how to keep trying and to be persistent. You've taught me my manners and to not put my elbows on the table. You've taught me how to be a gentleman and to open doors for my peers or saying thank you sincerely. Also, you have both taught me how to be a good leader, an example to everyone I encounter. I have always strived to make both of you proud of my work. From here on, I still want to achieve my goals and the goals you have both set out for me. Getting good grades, playing my best in sports, thinking outside the box, basically all the lessons that you have taught me up to now. I'm going to miss you both very much as I head off to boarding school next year. But I know that since I've been raised to do my best, I will make both of you proud of what I will achieve next year. I love you, and thank you for all the lessons that you've taught me. Thank you. P.S. I love you too, Dylan.
Before I get started, I would like to thank both sets of my grandparents for coming down and for my brothers and sisters. You guys mean a lot to me, and I love you guys. But to my parents, dear Mom and Dad, when I think about it, one of the most important things in life is a support group. When I go back through my memory, I remember when I was hit in the mouth with a skateboard. My parents were there. When I fell over the handlebars of my bike, my parents were there. When I was sick and burning up with fever for 3 days, my parents were right by my side. When I was hit in the face with a golf club, my parents were there. When I took my first steps, wrote my first song, and preached my first sermon, my parents were there with me. Through all the bad times and all the good times, Mom and Dad, you've been there for me. And for that, I want to say thank you. The Greek way of saying thank you, hopefully I'm saying this correctly, is ephesto. It's only used in Greek culture after someone has done excellent at something or exceedingly and beyond. So again, I say ephesto, thank you. I appreciate you teaching me through observing you can learn a lot, and that you're never less than a man when you say sorry or accept when you're wrong. I appreciate how you've taught me that it shows you're mature when you look someone in the eyes when they're talking to you. And how you always do better in doing something when you pray before doing it. I appreciate how you've taught me how a real relationship should be like. Not perfect, but always striving to be better for each other and for the people that you will affect. Mom and Dad, I love you because you made me. And for some people, that's reason enough when that's all that you've done. But as you can see, you've done so much more. You've nurtured me, supported me through all my endeavors, held me when I couldn't hold myself. You bathed me, you taught me, disciplined me. You've been there for me and haven't just said you loved me, but you've shown that you loved me. I will not waste your invested time, money, tears, and love. I will set God as my guide. I will be the husband of one wife, the father of my children. And I will instill in my children that which you have instilled in me. And I can't say this nor express this enough. I love you, I thank you, and I appreciate you so very much.
Okay, yay, public speaking. All right. Dear mother and my new father, David, thank you for everything you've done from dealing with me and helping me with math. Now, through the years you've dealt with me, There have always been a few years that stuck with me in my mind. For example, when I was around the age of 6, I got this Spider-Man costume for my birthday that I became so attached to until age 9 where I couldn't fit it due to my height. Another childhood memory I made with you all was, was when I was about 7 when we moved to Hickson, where I'd chase chickens that we rose together and I'd catch them and throw them into the coop. And another memory in Hickson was that as I was running through the field that we just mowed, all of a sudden, my dog Lucy, came from behind, knocked me in the back of my legs, and made me do a somersault. I was in extreme pain when I landed, but when I look back, it was a memory that will always be cherished. Another memory I won't forget was when my new father, David, moved in. Little did I know he had changed my life forever. From then on, he would teach me how to work and be independent. And Mother, you're right there, I appreciate all you've done. You've cared for me even through times where it was rough, and you always stayed by my side. When the family was at, struggling, you would hold us together and made us who we are today. And thank you. And you, David, I appreciate the large amount of things you've done for me and the rest of my family. At first, I was skeptical when you moved in, but I now realize how helpful and caring you were to our family. You taught me a bit about law, like criminal procedure, and you showed me what it is to be a man-child. You convinced me over the summer to find work around the neighborhood. When I was searching for a job, I checked every house and was rejected by almost every single one. I lost hope thinking I'd get the same response from the last, but then you gave me the shove in the right direction and convinced me to go up and ask. Again, I must thank you, and words can't describe how much I appreciate all you've done for our family. In return, for all you've done for me, Mother and Father, I want to become a successful, God-fearing man. When you become old and no longer be able to work, I will support you so that way you'll be able to live much easier. I will also be a great parent to my children when I'm older, as you were to me. I also want to become a lawyer just like you, David, so that I can support you all. Thank you both, Mother and Father, and I love you very much.
Hello, my superiors and fellow peers. I am happy to be standing here in front of everyone today. Standing here, sharing my memories to all of you. At graduation, getting ready for high school, it just brings me a smile. A memory I have from my childhood is when I was making me a nice and tasty waffle sandwich. I saw this beige powder in a Planters peanut container, and I was like, in my 3rd grade, something that I would like to call prepubescent stupidity, I was like, this would go good on my sandwich. But luckily at that moment, my mom was baking bread and took the brown powder. That powder was yeast. And when I was riding home from my dad, I was riding home with my dad from school in 6th grade. My dad was on the radio listening to the song "Turn the Page" by Bob Seger. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that name correctly. After I heard the song, that started my interest in the classic rock and, well, rock music in general. And later, during Christmas break in 7th grade, I decided, after seeing a bunch of YouTube videos on this game, I decided to buy the game Skate 3. And when I went to create my character in the game, I heard the song "Disorder" by Joy Division, and then later on, during an event during the game, I heard the song "London Dungeon" by the Misfits, and after that, I started to enjoy punk rock. Then, back in 4th grade, I was homeschooled for various reasons that I don't want to get into, and one of my favorite memories is when I was about either 3, 4, or 5 years old. My dad let me steer a very expensive and rare truck in a library parking lot. And another memory was how I was introduced to the beautiful beverage known as Coca-Cola. Basically, I would crawl over to my Aunt Margaret's cup and drink all the Coca-Cola. I was found out when I accidentally spilled the cup. And I appreciate my parents because, well, they didn't dump me on the curb when I was born. And they didn't put me up for adoption. They raised me, and they put me in a good Christian school. And I really, really like Dad, how I'm not homeless, and how my dad works hard to keep me in the home I live in. And again, I appreciate my dad for getting me into rock music. And I think my mom, she's not here sadly, for not letting me enjoy most modern pop music. And also, also for both my parents, I appreciate how you, oh wait, my mom is here. I also appreciate how both of you spend money on good schools. Whoops. I love my parents well because they're my parents, that they acknowledge me when I speak most of the time. I love them because they didn't abandon me in a basket the day after I was born. And every time my family goes on vacation, they don't just leave me with the dog. They take me along with them. And finally, when I get good grades, I make them happy. And I want to make my parents proud is because, well, that's what they would want for me. I want to make them happy and proud because they're my parents. And I want to make them feel like they didn't fail as parents. And as I'm becoming an adult right now, I want my parents to be happy and proud of me when I become successful. And one of my biggest reasons I want to make my parents happy is because I don't want to cause a wave of sadness and disappointment in my family. And now, a special memory from me to my wonderful teacher, Mr. McQuiston. So, back in 6th grade, when I'd done something dumb and gotten in trouble, yes, I used to do that. And so, basically, I had to walk laps, which really isn't that bad looking back at it. And I'd found a nice ball, and I started bouncing it. Mr. McQuiston told me to put the ball down. Back then, I had another bout of prepubescent stupidity, and I didn't put the ball down. And so, he called me over to him, and again, another bout of prepubescent stupidity. I talked back to him, and he didn't like it that much, and so basically he stood up, and that cured my prepubescent stupidity. And so, to my parents and Mr. McQuiston and basically my family, thank you.
Dear Mom and Dad, thank you for putting up with the terror I was when I was younger. From when I hit my head on a nail, fell off my razor scooter, through all my tears, you were always there for me. I'll forever treasure moments like when I first learned to swim with your help. You helped me every step of the way, and I couldn't have possibly done it without you. Even though I may not show it sometimes, I deeply appreciate all the sacrifices you made just for me. You sacrificed your own dreams so I could achieve mine. Your actions showed me to put others before myself. You spent countless hours just so I could go to a Christian school. You even take the time to cook dinner every night, even on the toughest days when I'm ungrateful. Finally, thank you for never, ever giving up on me. To that, least I can say is thank you. Mom, Dad, I don't think you hear this enough from me, but I love you. Why? You celebrated my milestones, helped me through my tough times, and most of all, you were my role model. You are an example of love, patience, and hard work. We may have our differences, arguments, and imperfections, but I love you anyway.
Dear Mom and Dad, Do you remember how clumsy I am? Well, I do. And a memory for that is one day when I was coming back downstairs, I felt myself falling. And there I was, tumbling down the stairs. And all you knew was that all of a sudden there was a big bang. And everyone sees me on the floor. And when I get up, I say, "I'm all right," and walk off. Or another memory is the first time I got a dog. It was for my 9th birthday. And when we came home, I see you open the door, and all of a sudden, there's a puppy. I was so happy. And I still have the memory when Adam came back from the army and surprised me at school. I can remember being so confused of what was happening. And something I can still remember is my first day at school. I remember being so scared to go to school because I didn't know anyone, and I still remember not wanting you to leave me there because but I soon realized that it would be okay, and from that day having some of my best friends. Something else I remember is whenever we go to the beach, my grandma and I would always get up early before everyone and walk down the beach. Mom, I really appreciate that you feed me and that the food is good. Also, thanks for the clothes you buy me. Thank you for putting me and my brother in a good Christian school and that we can grow up knowing Jesus. And thank you for providing a roof over our heads. And I hope to make you proud by getting good grades, then going to college and nursing school, and to get a good job. And by getting a good job, becoming a nurse. I'm not done. Just one last thing is to say thank you to all my family members, because I don't know where I would be without all of you. And I love you. And thanks for being my hilarious and embarrassing family. I can't thank you enough. I love you.